Sometimes you have to watch something or listen to something or even play something 3, 4, maybe even 5 times before you get it. That's Sly 3 for me. Now, Sly 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, like a top 5 favorite game of all time. So Sly 3 being in its shadow has never done it any favors in my books. The first couple of times I played it, I felt indifferent to it, maybe even apathetic to it. It's always been that way for me until recently. Coming back to this game to cover it on the channel with a fresh playthrough of it has been illuminating for me. I think this game has a lot of heart, and I think finally it's standing on its own for me. I love Sly 2, but I gotta just realize that maybe this game is as good as people say it is. However, when they added trophies back in the day for the Sly collection, there was no doubt in my mind which one was better. This game feels like Sanzaru was putting the most thought into the trophy run. This trophy run is taking advantage of everything this game has to offer, and I think Sly 3 has the most rewarding platinum trophy of the trilogy, heck, maybe even the whole series. So I'm excited to come back to this third entry with a renewed perspective as Sly and the gang make a run at the great platinum heist in their family's history. This is Platinum Hunters, the show where we take a look at everything it takes to get the platinum trophy and whether it's worth the effort to achieve it. Now we have Sly 1 and 2 on the channel, and we're putting 3 on the channel. We're getting very close to finishing this series, which we'll do very shortly. So check out any of the videos that I have already on the channel Sly related. And of course, subscribe for more Trophy Guy videos just like this one, because you might just find your next platinum trophy. Sly 3's trophy run, at least in the initial, is almost identical to Sly 2's, except there is a bit more to it other than just mostly unmissable trophies. There are still lots of unmissable story trophies for sure, but once you beat the story, you will see there's a lot more to do, and I won't spoil it right now. We'll get there in due time. And of course, there are going to be coin trophies and upgrade trophies too. Can't forget about those. Always great to have a version to play on the PS Vita, but a word of caution here, if you want to track this down, the physical version only features Sly 1 and Sly 2 on the cart, and Sly 3 was relegated to a download code that is probably expired by now. As of recording this video, you can still buy it digitally from the Vita store, but who knows how long that will last. I just want to relay this info in case you were going for the Vita Plat, and to make sure you make your decision now rather than later. Also, like the last trophy guide, I really can't cover this trophy guide in a fulfilling way unless we cover the story trophies, so there are spoilers all over this thing, drenched. So enjoy the trip down memory lane with me. Now we are primed and ready for this platinum operation, but note that I have more helpful guides in the description below if you need it. This prologue for Sly 3 is very different from the other 3 games. While it does start with a heist like the others, the heist has way larger stakes. The trophy called The Vault is yours for completing the prologue, and you will start this story at the very end of it, which is a very interesting way to tell the tale. It sets up what you'll be doing for the rest of the story, which is building an all-star team to help you get into the Cooper family vault. But before it spoils too much, we are headed to our first episode, an opera of fear in beautiful Venice. We are now doing the opening mission called Police HQ and getting the Intimate Moments Trophy. Of course, Inspector Carmelita Fox is roped into this with another voice actress change, and you have to get close to her to do, of all things, spring Dimitri from jail. I love how wacky this story gets when it comes to bringing back old adversaries into the fold. There's another one we're going to talk about later. But the end of that mission, you should have enough cash to buy Bentley's alarm clock gadget off of ThiefNet for the Late Sleeper Trophy, our very first gadget trophy of the game. It's worth 200 coins, which is dirt cheap compared to the prices of some of the later upgrades we need. It's a useful gadget as well for getting you out of situations. And while we are talking about coins, we have 3 trophies on screen now that you pop for amassing a small fortune, good enough for a thief to call it a day. These trophies work just like the last game, where it's not cumulative and you actually need to have that much money on hand at once. That's a bit annoying, but other than Sly's paraglider, the gadgets don't make the overall difficulty of the game that much easier, so you can just wait until you collect the coins first, then spend them on gadgets you need or want. In the back half of the story, pickpocketing enemies will be much more lucrative because the items on their person are worth much more money. And unlike Sly 2, you don't have to sell them on ThiefNet yourself. You just get the money. That's a nice quality of life change there. There are also other ways to get stacks of coins at a time, like sinking and boarding ships in the pirate-themed chapter called Dead Man Tell No Tales, which I think is an absolute best way to make money here. So there are plenty of opportunities to make money. 2,500 is a lot when you look at the number, but it's not going to ever feel grindy as long as you get to manage your money properly while playing the story. Let's continue on with our next trophy called Romantic Boat Ride, where now Sly and Bentley are speeding down the Venice Canal in the aptly named mission Canal Chase. Our heroes are speeding down the canal, and fast reflexes really help here as you're hopping over the most random stuff you could ever see in your way. After you shoot these 3 enemies that are running away from you, you beat the mission and get the trophy. This team are the Masters of Disguise, not unlike the movie of the same name with Dana Carey in it.
Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
Is he okay?
So for the guard duty mission and the undercover raccoon trophy, Sly is throwing on a disguise to fool some guards, and Bentley is doing the infiltrating part of the operation. We need to grab 3 blueprints for Octavio's tar operations so we can shut it down. And that's exactly what you do for the next trophy called Bentley Plumbing, when we have to destroy the tar pumps in Operation Tar Be Gone. I love these big operations because they involve the whole gang and culminate everything we've been doing this whole time. Sly does some more disguised infiltrating, and then we get to the part that pops the trophy. As Bentley, you have to destroy the 6 tar pumps with your bombs. Sly has your back, but you'll have to deal with the opposing enemies as well while you do this. You may get that trophy, but Operation Tar Be Gone doesn't end until you fight the operatic old dog himself. At the end of the operation, you have to take down Octavio for the beatdown trophy. After Bentley outsings him, he gets salty. You have to chase him down the Venice Canal and gun him down first. Then Murray is up to try and finish the job fist to fist. Despite his age, he's spry, so you need to lure him into the tar, and then you can slap him around with your pink might. You will fight him in 2 different areas, including in front of the police HQ, so we throw him in a cell quicker when you beat him down and get the trophy. That ends this heist, and Murray is back on the team. Now we have to go and find our first new member of the gang, the Guru. Now these next 2 upgrades for this episode are going to be mandatory. At some point the game is going to be like, hey yo, grab these fam. First one is the Bentley's hover pack for the Oh My God, a Flying Turtle trophy. 300 coins for the ability to temporary fly? Yep, sign me up. Here we go, pretty great bargain. Same situation for Sly's raccoon paraglider, which lets Sly glide across the skies like he could in Sly 2. Mighty handy, and that's another 300 coins, please and thank you. I'm starting to see the name ThiefNet has a double meaning here. My pocket is less jingly than I remember. Both of these are related to movement, so now I get why they'd be mandatory upgrades. So far we have spent 800 coins, which is not bad, but it will get worse later, trust me. Unleash the Guru is the first mission trophy we have, and it's this episode's opening mission called Search for the Guru. It's a Sly mission, and we have to find out where he's gotten to. We checked his favorite cave, no dice. Then we head over to his hut where he lives, and no Guru either. There is evidence of a struggle though, and Sly makes his way to a makeshift prison where there he is, of course. So a big portion of our work here in this episode is going to be put towards a plan to bust him out. But once you find the Guru, that's it for this mission. The second mission with a trophy tied to it is called Big Truck, where we have to collect scorpions by flipping a big truck on top of them. What the fuck? There's a good reason we're doing this, but anyways, this will get you the Scorpion Cleaner trophy when you collect 20 red scorpions. Not the blue ones, the red ones. So as you do this, the pool of water in the middle is keeping the truck cool, but after the 8th scorpion is caught, that pool of water will disappear. That's bad. Now we have to collect the blue scorpions, which will help cool the truck down as well. So this mission gets a bit nerve-wracking, but it's a pretty fun one. Then we have the Last Call trophy next, and this is a fun one. The Lemon Rage mission starts out with a 3v3 lemonade drinking competition until one of the goons accuses Bentley of cheating, and it erupts in a good old-fashioned classic barroom brawl. You get to use all 3 of our trio for this one as you beat up baddies. Then the cursed mask shows up and plants itself on a goon, and things get a little bit more serious. This one's gonna take more than a 3-hit combo to take them down, but when you finally quell the room and the mask, who unfortunately gets away again, that's it for this mission. This damn mask has been an absolute menace this whole operation, so now in Operation Moon Crash, we're putting an end to its shenanigans. Unfortunately, it involves stopping a giant Inspector Fox. Yes, for the It's Halloween trophy, we have to get that damn cursed mask off of Carmelita. It starts with trying to outrun her in the dump truck we used earlier, but then it turns into Sly having to scale her body to unhook the mask manually. Something he'd be a lot more happy to do under different circumstances. So careful not to fall on the way up, and when you unhook the mask, that will be it for this trophy and chapter. We have got some dogfighting in more ways than one in the next episode. But wait. First we gotta talk tech. We have the one tech trophy to grab, and it's called Whirlwind of Awesome. You will need to purchase the Sly Spin Attack 3 upgrade for 800 coins, which appears midway through the episode. Now that is going to require you to first purchase the Sly Spin Attack 2 upgrade, which is another 400 coins. So that's a total of 1200 coins added to the total, and now expect things to get more expensive. But this particular upgrade is totally worth it, as I used it a lot during big combat fights. While you're busy messing with Team Belgium and Team Iceland, Mugshot has the same idea to mess with you. So we have the trophy, I Think She Likes You, for completing the mission Cooper Hangar Defense. And this is a pretty big mission with multiple parts. First, Murray has to stop Mugshot and his goons from getting inside the hangar. Then, Bentley has to prevent the goons from coming through the sewers using his security system. Then we get to the part where we see Penelope for the first time as she defends the hangar from the outside using her RC chopper. It's a team effort here to complete this one, and that's something I like about all these missions. It feels grandiose like this. Then in the Beauty and the Beast mission, it's mano a mano with Mugshot but not Sly. No, it's Carmelita this time. I love a good old-fashioned shootout.
But it's a lucky thing I had my pieces.
Your pieces?
My guns.
Oh.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang!
For the digging up a bone trophy, you have to outgun the big dog, which is not a hard fight at all. Carmelita's blaster packs an electric punch, so just keep moving and shooting and you'll get him down easy. Then finally we get to the big finale of the competition in the mission, Operation Turbo Dominant Eagle. We have to shoot the Black Baron out of the skies first, then we can go for the Mayday Mayday trophy. Time to beat down the Black Baron in a fist fight on top of a moving plane. No big deal. This old man has a good right hook, so you really need to be patient and wait for his moments where he's vulnerable. Definitely a boss worthy of his legend, but it will be an easier fight if you learn not to be too aggressive. That will conclude episode 3. We're piloting through this a lot quicker now. So we're off to another episode, and this is a good one. Episode 4 has only 2 story trophies, but I do want to give a shout out to the very first mission of this place with the Panda King. Awesome moment right here with a fiery callback to the first game. These are the moments that show Sucker Punch's legendary storytelling chops. With no upgrade trophies to get, we jump into the mission called Vampiric Demise so we can get the Vampire Exterminator trophy. We got the very uneasy team up of Sly and Panda King here, and we already know how deep this beef goes. But there's a chance to make amends here, and Panda King hits the field to watch Sly's back while he tries to crack into some fireworks stashes. Playing as the Panda King is pretty fun, and when these vampire mantises show up, you can launch multiple rockets at once to take out multiple targets in one barrage. Keep him safe, and by the end of the mission, you'll have the trophy and a little bit more of Sly's trust. Long way to go here though. Now we fast forward all the way to the very last part of Operation Wedding Crasher, where we have to ride and defeat a giant Chinese stone dragon. Holy high hell, the stakes just shot up like fireworks. Now we have to defeat this thing to get the Dragon Punch trophy. Listen to this insanity. We have to ride fireworks into the sky to be able to paraglide onto the dragon, ninja spire jump across his scales so you can whack his head and defeat him. He's not even looking forward to where it's going when he's trying to kill you. Rinse and repeat 3 times until its health is dropped, and this episode will be done. Again, it was quite a good one, and the Panda King joining the gang is a super interesting story choice for sure. Now, we're at episode 5, which has a lot of story trophies and lots of power-up trophies to unlock here. But it's all good because we're getting our pirate on and we're going treasure hunting. I'm just gonna pop all 3 upgrade trophies on screen now so you can get a good look at them. Now for Murray's Diablo Fire Slam, it's a straight 1400 coins, but the other 2 have levels before you get the trophies, which is of course going to increase the cost. You have level 1 and level 2 for Sly's Shadow Power, with the prices being 1000 and 1600 each. And then Sly's Jump Attack has 3 levels, with the prices being 400, 800, and 1000. This chapter is where the prices get steep and we have to steal more stuff to pay for all this. So, with all the upgrade trophies covered now, we can add it all up and get a grand total. You will need a total of 8,000 coins, and that is well over the 2,500 coins you need for the loot trophy. Good thing we have the pirate ship battles we discussed earlier in this chapter. That will give you a ton of coins. Remember to board the ship and take it over because it will give you more coins that way. Getting to the story trophies, now we start with the team of Bentley and Penelope for the Hug It Out trophy. This mission, Dynamic Duo, has great character development between these 2 lovebirds as they try to find out where Lefouille is keeping the treasure map we need. It involves a lot of RC car work, and it's quite a deep and involved mission with multiple parts. There's even a part where Bentley has to get a blinded Penelope back to the safe house safely using his grapple cam. It's an excellent mission, honestly, with lots of interesting parts. Then we have to find Dimitri's family diving gear next for the Ben's Trophy. The big new mechanic in the X Marks the Spot mission is that we get to go on a good old-fashioned treasure hunt using the treasure map we got from the other mission. This mission is awesome as you have to follow the clues and make the correct amount of paces to get to the next clue and find the next and the next until you follow them all and you are led to the prize. Thankfully, this treasure hunt is not a one-off, and we'll see more treasure maps for more areas later on. We are hitting all the hallmarks of pirate life, so a rite of passage is to go up against a giant kraken. This one's name is Crusher, by the way. In the Crusher of the Deeps mission, you'll have to defeat Crusher to get the Tentacle Terror Trophy. This is a cool mid-chapter boss fight, and we have Sly and Panda King on deck squaring off with the giant kraken. Panda King gets to mess it up with his fireworks, and Sly backs him up while he needs to reload his ammo. These two are finally proving to each other that they can have trust and get on the same page. Awesome mission, honestly. Then we don't have a trophy until we get to the Operation Reverse Double Cross mission, where we can deal with the bird brain himself, Lafui. And you'll have to defeat him as Penelope, of all people, for the Taking Out the Trash trophy. It's a jousting battle too. Now, she proves she's more than capable while disguising herself as the Black Baron, but it's still an unlikely candidate against this scurvy bird. The fight is pretty simple once you get the rhythm down. Dodge his attacks, wait for him to showboat, and then let him have it. He switches up his attack pattern, so be aware of that and just make the adjustment. Out-pirate the captain and put an end to this penultimate chapter. Now that we have the full Cooper gang together, we are ready to infiltrate the Cooper Vault. Dr. M will be there waiting, but before we go and get him and get our fortune, make sure you hit the like button to let me know you are still here standing with the Platinum Gang, as we're about to get another treasure for our collection. The final episode of this game really reminds me of the final episode in Sly 1, in that it abandons the hub world mission structure and instead does a series of levels one after another to end off the story. Right in the beginning of it, we can get our first trophy here. Everyone needs a foxy lady during the Carmelita rescue section. It picks up right where the prologue left off, and it's Inspector Fox to the rescue as she blasts the massive turtle creature that has Sly in its grip. Then our two last trophies are back to back at the end of the episode. Sly is the only one who can go deeper into the vault, so Bentley and Murray stay behind to watch his back. This is where we can get the True Friendship Trophy. It starts with Murray taking down waves upon waves of Dr. M's thugs, and it's a lot of guys to have to put down. The Murray is more than capable though. Then Dr. M will show up and it's Bentley's turn to shine. Literally, you have to grab these crystals and put them on Dr. M so that he can shine a light on him and burn him with it. Now, all this doesn't slow him down, unfortunately, and we move on to the final parts of the story. For the So Gang, What's Next trophy, you will have to defeat Dr. M playing as Sly Cooper, and I think this is the toughest boss fight in the game personally. You don't get too many openings to hit him, and he doesn't flinch very much, and he also drops these weird attacks that follow you and linger for a long time. It's almost better to get hit by those attacks so you don't have to deal with them. Combined with the fact that you'll have to pull his flying ass down to fight him and get out of the way of his death ray, by this game's standards, I think this boss is a pretty good challenge. But once you defeat him, that's it for this game, and you will get the last trophy of this run. Psych! You thought you were done? Like Sly 2? No! Well, this trophy run is different. You see, when I've reached the end of the story, I only finished with 57% game completion. But there are 3 trophies for completing the game at 50%, 75%, and 100%. What gives then? Well, it turns out that in order to achieve 100% for the 100% Pure Cooper Trophy, you will have to complete 2 things. First step is completing all the tutorials in the hazard room, which is really not a big deal. They appear over time, so at the end of the game, just go in the room and do the remaining ones. That's not the problem. The second step is the big one. You will have to go back into chapter select for every episode and clear all of the Master Thief challenges that appear there. These Master Thief challenges are small sections of the levels, but now you either have a high score that you have to reach, or you have to beat the objective before the time runs out. Yep, time trials. Hello darkness, my old friend. The great majority of the 42 challenges are timed, but at least it's not all of them. The treasure hunts are a good example of this, and I'm glad they let us do more of them. These treasure hunts will unlock once you do the first one in the X marks the spot mission, but other than that, the Master Thief challenges unlock for the chapter after you finish it. These challenges vary in difficulty level, but on the whole, they're not too difficult when comparing to the time trials of other games we've covered in guides before, like Crash 3 or maybe even Little Big Planet. But I'm still going to break down the top 5 most difficult challenges to give you a heads up for what to do when you go in and tackle these. So, the 5th most difficult one is straight out of episode 3, where you have to defend the hangar, but now you have to do it with half the amount of health. So you'll have to be pretty quick when you deploy the grapple hook and get rid of all the riffraff that shows up. There's not much leeway now, especially when you have to deal with the tanks. If you don't prioritize the tanks, well, then they're gonna do a ton of damage to the hangar, which is not a lot to spare. Number 4 ended up being the ultimate gauntlet, but not for the reasons you think. Now you have to run through the Cooper family vault with a time limit, but the time limit didn't end up being the problem here. They are pretty generous here with the time, and you'll have lots of time to beat it even if you're going slow. The real problem is doing it all in one go. If you die at any point in the run, it's back to the beginning of the vault, and you'll have to try again. The silver lining is that there are breakables here that will give you coins, and that also means it has a chance to give you health. So then it's up to you and your platforming skills to make it to the end. The third one takes less than a minute, but demands perfection. We have the Tower Scramble, where you have to scale to the top of the tower with Octavio's ugly mug on it in record time. Unlike the last one, the time is definitely against you. Where you spawn in and start the challenge is against you, as a quarter of the time is gone before you even hop on the first part of the climb. If you mess it up once, you are done and might as well start over. This one took a bunch of tries to do it, but because it's only 40 seconds long, you won't be doing hours and hours doing this one. Hopefully. Now with these last 2, I think there's a big step up in difficulty, and the second most one is called Road Rage. This challenge comes from the last episode, where you have to pilot the RC car with a mechanism to knock other cars off the track. Now you have to knock 16 cars or more off the track in one life, and this may not seem like it should be hard, but trust me when I say it is. You have one life with no healing, and these guys are shooting at you. Considering how little space you have, it's easy to get shot. You are not timed, thankfully, but the longer you take to do this, the more the RC cars start to bunch up, and now you have multiple shots coming at you at once. Try to stay out of the line of fire, especially on the turns where you should take the outside of them. Good luck with this one, but I should be saving it for this last one. Using Murray's ball is cumbersome in any situation, but it's such a burden in what I think is the toughest Master Thief trophy of them all, Big Air in China. Man, is this one annoying to complete. You have to reach a few high up places in the map, and it's all about maintaining your momentum. You have to tap the X button right when Murray hits the floor in order to bounce up to the same height you just fell from. Well, considering how damn high up these checkpoints are, there is very little room for error. Oh, and did I mention you're being timed? Of course you're being timed. So this concoction of awfulness is going to give you a hard time doing this last challenge, but once you complete this and all of the Master Thief challenges, you will obtain 100% game completion, and your trophy run, this time for sure, will be completed as well. It's time for the Platinum Gang to take rest and enjoy their riches. This is definitely a step up from the trophy experiences of the first and second game, but nothing is worth stealing unless there are some significant obstacles you have to overcome along the way. So if you've completed all the Master Thief challenges, assembled a legendary gang of highly skilled thieves, bought a bunch of sometimes expensive upgrades, completed Sucker Punch's mastercraft of a trilogy, and collected all the trophies, congratulations! You will be awarded the Master Thief Platinum Trophy for Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves HD. These are old games, so none of them have DLC, but the PS3 version of the Sly collection did include 4 PlayStation Move enabled minigames as a bonus. It's got its own trophy set separate from any of the 3 games, and here are the trophies on screen now. We have 8 in total, and for each minigame you have a trophy for playing it and a trophy for hitting a certain score. Considering I'm covering these trophies here instead of their own video, these score totals are a joke to hit. You can do them with a regular controller or a Move controller. You can do them one player or co-op. It's all up to you. Now, since it's its own separate trophy set, if you like, you can just skip this if you don't want to do it. But honestly, in less than an hour, you will have this 1 out of 10 difficulty trophy set done. If you want every Sly Cooper trophy that ever exists, well, at least this small trophy set will be over quick. Overall, this is the best platinum run in the Sly trilogy. Despite 2 being my favorite game, I can concede that the platinum run kinda sucks. Sly 1 has a good trophy run, but this game's run is just better. Plus, I think it's more rewarding to get thanks to those Master Thief challenges. If you don't like doing time trial type challenges, you might not like going for 100%, but we have covered so many plots with time trials, and by far this is one of the easiest. Lots of the challenges are a minute or less, and some of them don't have time requirements at all, so getting 100% won't be so bad in the end. Aside from the Master Thief stuff, the rest of the trophies are either story related or very easy to get if you're focused on collecting coins and pickpocketing. So all in all, it's a great platinum run that I'm confident you will like. Sanzaru left us a little special something for getting all 3 plats, and it ended up being a tease for Sly 4. I know it's divisive in the community, but I can't wait to crack this one open and see if I still feel the same way about it. So that's our next Sly game we will see hit the channel, and I can't wait for the gang to get back together for one more heist. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. That's the Sly trilogy, one of my favorite things that Sony and Sucker Punch has produced. I love it. I hope you guys love it as well, and anybody who hasn't checked these games out, what are you waiting for? Go for it. Try to track them down. Unfortunately, I know they're stranded on the PS3, on the Vita, and PS Plus Premium. So I get it, but please try to play them. They're excellent. Let me know what you think about them down in the comments section, any and all thoughts, and I hope all your trophy hunting heists go incredibly well, and peace out.